Hi everybody. Today's topic is just related to some recent events that's happened. Um, I joined the spooning community 3 years ago when I got really sick with gastroparesis. Through the spooning community, I was able to um, learn more about dysautonomia and about EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and ultimately that's how I got my diagnosis. But I didn't self-diagnose. And I see so many people self-diagnosing or diagnosing others when they don't truly understand the extent of what they are talking about. They're giving advice that could potentially be dangerous, and it's because they self-diagnosed, they haven't done research, they haven't talked to physicians, and um, it's dangerous. Like I said, it could be life changing. Um, you know, there's nothing wrong with talking to people, like, or even from my videos, there's nothing wrong from taking something away and saying, hey, I've had joint issues since I was little, very delicate bruised skin, very soft, never really needed to use lotion. This whole Ehlers-Danlos thing can possibly be a diagnosis, but you know, there's other stuff that can cause that also. There's other stuff that can cause anything. Like, for some people, gastroparesis is just gastroparesis. Just because they have gastroparesis does not mean that they have dysautonomia or Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or mitochondrial disease. So you cannot give advice when you don't know the full situation. And if you are the person who is sick, you need to see the proper doctor so they can diagnose you properly, because there's certain treatments for, say, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that may be potentially harmful for somebody who has mitochondrial disease. Now, I don't know if that's actually possible, but it's just an example. It's like trying to treat a diabetic with sugar. Um, so, if you suspect that you have another disease, please go to the doctor and talk to them about it. I know it's hard because we fear that people, especially doctors, will think of us as hypocrites or drugs, or not hypocrites, hypochondriacs or drug seekers. But in reality, we're just educated. And if you go in there with confidence and show them that you are in fact educated, you're not just asking for medication, you're asking for treatment to help you get better, most doctors will realize, you know, there is an underlying issue. Um, and then, I see a lot of people exaggerating their symptoms, and all their posts are either they're in the hospital or they're stuck in bed, and they're all woe is me posts, like, can't get out of bed, I'm in too much pain, or I'm stuck in the hospital because I am throwing up. And I know I make those posts. I do post when I'm not feeling well, but I took a long look at my Instagram and my Facebook and realized that I was doing it all the time, and that's not the person that I wanted to be. And that in no way helped my depression, and in no way helped to bring awareness to the disease. Just because I'm saying I'm in pain, it doesn't bring awareness. Awareness is brought with education, and that's something that you can't do just by self-diagnosing. Um, Also, I see a lot of people trying to diagnose others, and they have incorrect information when they're diagnosing these other people. And the scary thing is again, that could be harmful for the person because they're getting the wrong advice, or they're not seeing a doctor because they've talked to this person, or you know, things like that. It's in the spinning community. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be a competition. It shouldn't be, well, oh, you have gastroparesis, I have gastroparesis and dysautonomia. Oh, and I have EDS, and I have this. And unfortunately, it really is. And it can ruin a lot of relationships that were started in the beginning, um, because people don't feel comfortable talking to each other. Um, and one of the other things that has coming up with this whole self-diagnosis thing is people are talking about potentially deadly diseases, such as systemic mastocytosis or mast cell syndrome, where you can have an allergic reaction to absolutely nothing and end up in an anaphylactic reaction. And as someone who suffers with this issue, to me, to see somebody have a couple of red marks from scratching all of a sudden claim that they have mast cell issues or systemic mastocytosis, I feel like it's putting down those who are fighting it daily. I mean, there's people who are on 24-hour IV Benadryl pumps. One of the girls, Brynn, dumplin, I believe it is. I mean, the girl is amazing. She's the one who really put me on the path to finding out about my mast cell issues. Um, and she's been featured on CNN, her Facebook page, her Instagram, her YouTube. You know, it's educational. It's not just, you know, a brief description. And the only reason that I did move forward with trying to find a diagnosis was because for 4 years, if I wasn't taking an antihistamine around the clock, I was literally covered in hives all the time. At work, at home, at school, and I couldn't live with it. And it was starting to get worse after I'd gotten sick. And, you know, then I heard about brynn and a couple of other people who have these mast cell issues, and you know, I started talking to them, and they really they went about it the right way. They said, well, it's a possibility, but you need to go in and see the appropriate doctor to get diagnosed, which is exactly what I did. So when someone just kind of throws out that type of diagnosis, or you know, try and claim it out of nowhere, um, you know, I feel like it's an insult to those who are battling daily. And I mean, even when I complain, you know, I'm lucky. I can sit here. I don't need to be hooked up to, you know, an IV Benadryl pump. I can do about 85% of the stuff that I did before getting sick without worrying about an anaphylactic reaction. And it's not like that for everybody. Yeah, so it's, instead of competing, you should realize how blessed you are and help uplift those who are not as well off. And you know, I know some people are doing it as a cry for attention because there are those people that, you know, and it happens everywhere, whether it's social media, at work, at school, you know, it, there are those few people that people kind of flock to, and then you feel left out. And then I think that's where the exaggeration of of symptoms, the self-diagnosing, and diagnosing others so that they can teach them about the diagnosis comes into play. It's, I don't want to make it too long of a video. It's just something that I've been meaning to get off my chest recently. Um, you know, I'm gonna be 27 in a week, and I'm not where I thought I was gonna be, but I know I can be worse off, and I know I am blessed, and I don't see why anybody would want to make themselves worse, whether it's making themselves seem worse or actually are worse by doing things that are known to um, aggravate symptoms. But stay healthy, stay happy, you know, just get your proper care. Don't go off of the word of just one person because they say they have it. You know, that's maybe whatever treatment or non-treatment that they're doing is working for them if they really do have that disease. Unfortunately, nowadays, you can't be 100% sure. And I am working with an amazing woman to make vials of love something that I can help others in financial need, but we're having to take measures to guarantee that this money is not going to go to be blown off because they don't actually have medical bills or they don't actually have, no money to get their kids a backpack for school because of their bills, things like that. And it's really, really sad. So never take the word of just somebody you randomly met on the internet. Do your homework. Make sure you get to the doctor. And please, if you are one of these people who likes to diagnose others, if you've self-diagnosed yourself, you're putting yourself at risk. But to put others at risk is horrible when a lot of these diseases can be deadly. You can say that, hey, it's a possibility, and encourage them to go to the doctor, but don't be their guru, their savior, and tell them they don't need to go to the doctor if they have this. All they need to do is this, this, and this. And like my best friend, we've been talking about possible EDS diagnosis, but she, um, you know, when we talk, I tell her it sounds exactly like some of the stuff I've been through, but I keep saying, you gotta see a primary doctor, you gotta get the diagnosis. And she works in the medical field also. I've been working in the medical field since I was 16 up until I stopped working 3 years ago. My mom's a medical assistant, and, that biggest mistake is just not seeking the proper treatment or the proper diagnosis. So, make sure you get that done. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay hopeful.